Dudleys in just a minute, because I know it means so much for them to have me here, and I'm going to explain that to you in just a minute. But I'm sitting there with some reverends. I've got there Reverend Devon, who's quite the reverend, and Thunderbolt Patterson, who's very much a man of God, and Ranger Ross there, who, by the way, if y'all don't know, is a legitimate war hero, helped liberate Grenada, and became a man of God, a man of the cloth. And the Ranger asked me this last year, he wouldn't do it, but I was hoping that you guys together would pray for some of my baseball bets. I did some research on this Ranger, and apparently in the Bible, when Judas turned out to be the stooge, they cast lots to get the Matthias to be the apostle. So gambling and drinking's in the Bible. I'm getting there, a man of the cloth. Watching that Texas video there, by the way, I failed the drug test, just watched it. And seeing how many people passed away. How many Deadpools has Michael Hayes screwed up over the years? You know, I got the greatest honor when Brian Blair called me. And he said, man, the Dudleys, he said, they are so excited, they want you to induct them. I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. You know, the great JBL, I was a champion, and wrestled these guys all the time. So I see Devin in Cleveland. And by the way, Ron Simmons walked in and he said, Devin, he goes, Mr. Simmons, my name is Devon. And Ron goes, that's what I said. So you may have as many kids as Boyd, Bob, Fritz, and Stu combined, pal, but if Ron Simmons says you're Devin, I'm sorry if you're as fertile as geek as kind. Your name is Devin. So I see Devin in Cleveland, and I thought, you know, when I'm talking to him, he didn't say anything about the Hall of Fame induction. I said, well, you know, he's a little embarrassed. Coming all the way out here just to induct these guys. It means so much to him. I'm obviously, one of the guys they wanted. So finally, I just brought it up to him. I said, Devin, I'm excited to be out there in Vegas with you. And I'm inducting you guys. He goes, oh, you're inducting us. I didn't know. So thanks, Brian. Apparently didn't take a shit for these two guys. But I'm here. And while it may not mean much to them, I want to tell you, back in the day, I've seen all the great tag teams, didn't get the Russell, the Briscoe Brothers, the Funks, but did the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, the Steiners, Harlem Heat, so many of the great tag teams throughout the years. And back in the day, we would talk about who the greatest commentator was. And you really weren't talking about who was the best color commentator. You were talking about who was second behind Bobby Heenan. Because Bobby Heenan was that much better than the rest of us. And when you talk about tag teams, you really were talking about who was second behind the Road Warriors. They were that much better. As great as these tag teams were than everybody. One group has come along, and I think that was unthinkable back then, that has reached into that level and is now in the same breath and is now subjective whether they are the best or not. In my opinion, their longevity, their championship run, what all they've done, I think they are the greatest tag team of all time, the Dudley Boys. They came in the WWE, and we already had a run with a really good run, a very entertaining and competitive run with another ECW tag team, Public Enemy. And it lasted for six and a half minutes. Then they come the Dudleys. And I don't know if they thought there was anything up. There wasn't. We thought they were good guys. We thought they were good guys until whatever happened. But the boys were watching. And back in the day, it's like the Road Warriors. How can I beat you in 2 minutes and not make myself look bad? That was pretty much me and Ron's mentality as well, because when you come as a big team, that's what you do. They're going to slay it. So they had to beat the hell out of us, and good Lord, did they. I thought it hit me so hard the 2x4, I thought my hands and feet had gone paralyzed. But the next week was our turn, and we were going to get them back. All the boys lined up. We got them good. They popped up from that, shook our hands, hugged us, and said, guys, that was great, and we became best friends ever since. We've had so much fun with the Dudleys. We were driving to Philadelphia one time, or Cleveland, or Dallas, or Rome, I don't know. I was looking on these shirts and just said, we were in a city somewhere driving really fast. And I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden my door opens, and Bubba Dudley has climbed out of his car into ours, driving down the road. There's cars everywhere. We're going 70, 80 miles an hour. Finally, I get Bubba out of the car and back, and Ron looks at me and goes, there's something wrong with him, isn't there? I said, I think so. Yeah, I like that guy. I like him. Bubba, those that don't know, was hooked up in New York City like Carlos Gambino. If you know, you know. We spent a month one night in New York City thanks to Bubba Dudley. From what I hear, it was one hell of a good time. They went on to tables, ladders, and chairs, and we were sitting there one day watching various stuff. They said, Ron, what would you do if they called that with you? He said, I'd tag John. I am so glad they knew that me and Ron were not athletic enough to be in that stupid event, but what they did was they made magic. Absolute magic. There was no template. There was no safety protocols. There was no backup. No one had done this before. And what these guys did out there and went and did Shakespeare and the greatest tables, ladders, and chairs match that will live as long as professional wrestling lived. These guys who were blood guts. These guys who fought us in bar fights. These guys who did so much entertaining stuff with us, with backstage, with APA and beer and poker and cards. Went out there and tore the house down with a couple of kids and wanted to jump off the roof to my Edge and Crispin and the Party Boys. And did something that the business will remember forever. You know, one thing that the Dudleys, the reason I think they're the greatest tag team of all time is what they've done since. You look at what Reverend Devon did, you look at what Bubba did at TNA, you look at what Bubba went on to do with Busted Open Radio, and Devon personally has helped repopulate North America. Testify! Say testify! So while they may not care that I'm here inducting them, and they didn't know I was going to induct them, I'm going to tell you it's the honor of my life to be able to come out here and induct these two friends of mine who we spent so much time in the ring with, so much fun with, and I can see these guys go on and become the tag team that they are, and the people that they are, and I'm glad and honored to be here with them today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dudley Boys.